God damn it, Sparky! I told you get this shit working. What the fuck? Oh,
it's not my fault that you can't fucking walk the goddamn broadcast equipment. Read the goddamn fucking manual.
You know what, Sparky? I don't want to hear it. I'm going to take that core. I'm going to throw it into the biggest fucking volcano that I found, and you're going to be no more. I don't care about the nuclear. Hi, we're live. I'm not going to threaten to destroy the world. I promise. Good morning, everyone.
Can everyone hear us?
This is what I fucking woke up for.
Can everyone hear Sparky and Antihero? For the love of God. Yes, this is what you woke up for. That and
I am
the company of wonderful, fine individuals like myself, and then of course there's Sparky.
Well, fuck you too, Antoine.
Look, who the fuck is calling you wonderful, Antoine?
Everyone.
Name one person.
Me, myself, and I.
Oh, that's not even a person.
That's 3 people.
So, no. We already have one person with 3 personalities. We don't need you to have more than one.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Now, can the chat hear Antihero and Sparky? That's what is important.
I don't know. Can they hear us? Hello, chat. People of the chat. People in chat land. Can you hear a goddamn thing we're saying? Fermion says, yes, we can.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
All right.
Fermion's watched way too much Bob the Builder.
All right. Welcome to the morning brew, everyone. Caffeinated today. Fuck up my intro, whatever. We're doing this live. I don't give a goddamn anymore. Good morning. How is everyone? Starting with my co-hosts.
Well, good now that you finally got us on air properly. You were not
I just gotta
prepared
ask
this morning.
I just gotta ask, if you know that OBS is going to fuck up every single time you boot it up, why boot it up?
I didn't know it was going to fuck everything up.
You complain about OBS every single time you run it, Antoine.
Antoine, who had to ask for help to get your system going to be able to talk?
Wait a minute. Hi, Sarah. Continue.
Hey, Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
But who had to help you for like 30 minutes to get your computer to be able to put sound out where it's supposed to put sound out so you can go on a live stream?
I'd like to point out that I did not need help to fix my computer when the update fucked it.
That's why I hire people like.
For someone who is supposedly a super advanced computer program, you suck at this.
Hey, no. I'll defend Antoine this one. Windows 10 will fuck anyone.
Look, all I know is that the update happened, and for some fucking reason, I woke up with a ton of pop-ups in my eyes. It's not fun.
Were they all porno?
It was talking about sending me to Hawaii for $99, and then there was one.
Are you sure those were pop-ups and not like, things you left open from last night?
No, I didn't leave anything open from last night.
That's what he says.
So, all right, have you guys been doing anything interesting this week?
Well, let's see. I made 2 videos so far. One explaining why it's a bad idea to use a PayPal Me on your YouTube, and the second one explaining a little bit on why it's a bad idea to remove the 19th Amendment.
Well,
that's what I've been doing.
Have you been trying to clone yourself again?
No. I don't think anyone needs that nightmare anymore.
That's good.
The last time I tried doing that, it froze and hung up and just kept making more.
Well, I want to point out that Tom says, whoa, just because someone is made of the internet doesn't mean they know how it works. I'm made of billions of cells, and I'm no molecular biologist. Tom is my new favorite person.
Hey, Tom, do me a favor. If you could just stop sucking Antoine's dick for a few minutes, I would be able to understand you better.
Anyone who says anything good about me, you have a problem with.
Well, yes, you're not good.
I am too. I'm a decent,
When?
honest person.
To who?
To certain people.
Name one person who considers you to be decent and honest.
I am decent and honest with Tom.
Tom just sucked you off. Of course you're gonna be decent and honest with him.
And Fermion. We can't forget Fermion.
Is Fermion sucking your balls while Tom sucks your dick?
One compliment does not mean anything about it. It does not mean that. See, now Tom says you never complain when I'm balls deep down on your own shaft, metaphorically.
Well, of course I never complain. I'm not going to complain in the middle of getting a blowjob. The point is, I don't sit there and be like, oh, Tom, you're my favorite just because you sucked my dick. And of course I'm mean this morning. It's morning. I woke up 3 hours ago.
Well, then it's not morning for you.
No, it's god-awful. And when am I not mean? Sarah, name one time I'm not mean. And Fermion, there's only one side to my bed because it's pushed up against the wall, so it's always the wrong side.
Well, I was going to say you woke up on the wrong side of the trash can, but, we'll go with that.
Wow.
I don't sleep in trash cans.
I was talking about you getting so hammered last night that you woke up in some dumpster.
Oh, no, I don't drink anymore.
Anymore? Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you have to stop eventually.
I've been alcohol-free for the last month or so, actually.
Oh. Did you get your special month chip?
No, I don't go to meetings. Meetings are for quitters.
Oh. All right, so let's get this dumpster fire of a show started, shall we? Good morning, chat. Let's see who we got. We have Sarah, we have Jake, we have Fermion, we have Tom, Raz. Anybody else I've missed so far? Zar is here. And Twisted Skipster. Good morning, everyone.
I'd like to address two things. All I ever have is consensual sex. I'm not Tom. And two, well, of course I'm not going to be mean to people who give Zach a small arsenal of atomic bombs. I mean, that's when real love gets shown right there. Not for sloppy blowjobs. It's for nuclear ordnance.
Yeah. He's mean to the one. Yeah, he's mean to the one person that can take that ordinance and just put it to shame by blowing up his court.
Hey, Sparky. Could you suck Antoine's dick a little bit?
Actually, he was talking about himself.
No, I know, but you own him, so you might as well.
No.
That's not what Antoine says.
I'll turn my mouth into a garbage disposal first.
Dude, you definitely need to blow him now. Ruby Hardy says #playdick.
Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything pertinent that we'd like to talk about before we get to these fun articles?
Why is the broadcast booth so fucked up?
I don't know. You're the one who's supposed to be fixing it.
I told you not to do any random updates on it.
It did it on its own. What do you want me to do when it starts working for itself?
Well, you be nice to it.
I was nice to it. I kicked it. I hit it with a hammer. I got a bigger hammer when it wouldn't work. And then I also set it on fire.
I think maybe Antoine's the one who never has consensual sex. That just sounds awful. I mean, it's a computer program viciously physically assaulting a hardware system.
Sounds like Windows 10 for a normal computer.
The fucking technician comes in. What happened? The computer's like, I fell down some stairs. Antoine's like, that's fucking right, you did. So what's the first story on the docket?
Well, Ray Martinez says talk about the Philip DeFranco shit. I don't know what the Philip DeFranco shit is.
Yeah. What is it?
Yes, Ray, tell us what happened. I have been very busy this week, so I have not been able to keep up on any of the interesting news going around the YouTube.
Okay, let me look it up.
I mean, there's a lot of drama going on right now, and I've been hiding for most of it, frankly.
I don't blame you.
the BetterHelp scam.
Oh, that thing? Yeah, PewDiePie released a video on that was actually pretty informative.
So did the YouTube lawyer.
Well, did anyone watch it?
I did, and it's
Okay, so you are informed as to what's going on. So tell us what is going on.
well, I know a little bit about it. I don't know a lot. I didn't watch the entire video, but BetterHelp. Oh fuck! What was it?
I know what they are because Philip DeFranco pimps them out. It's a place where you can find counselors and mental health things.
Biggest problem with them is that they charge you for a lot of stuff. They auto charge you no matter what you do most of the time, and they don't actually give you any real help, and none of their people are vetted.
Oh, well.
It's a big ass money making scam, and it's really awful. Some people got real help from it. A lot of people did not get real help from it. The other big part is that YouTubers who shilled them were getting, I think it was according to Pewds, they were getting $200 a pop for everyone who used their sign up codes.
$200 a. God, I need to get advertisers.
Yes, $200 per person, Antoine. Please pay attention.
And I'm going to assume that Philip DeFranco was one of the ones shilling them.
I guess so. I don't know. I only know what PewDiePie said.
I see the quartering did a video 5 days ago. Philip DeFranco did nothing wrong.
Good morning, Cadantris.
Morning, Cadan.
I don't know if everyone here is a bitch. I know at least one of them is. I'll let that person figure out who they are.
Don't talk about Sparky that way.
Really?
Wow.
Really, Antoine? Really?
A lot of bitches going on here.
You really? Hang on a minute. I'll be right back.
If there's anything I've found in my life, it's that when people start arguing about who the bitch is, usually they're the bitch.
I'm not
Hey,
arguing about
Antoine.
any bitches.
Antoine.
What, Sparky?
Come here, bitch.
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Terrifier.
Sparky's treating you like you're a raccoon.
Why did you take a shot at Antihero?
I took a shot at you.
You missed. You're supposed to be a fucking robot. How is your aim that bad?
I can't help it. You glitch all over the fucking place.
I'm sitting right across from you, and you fired a fucking shotgun and you missed.
Did you get a virus, Antoine?
No.
Did you get an STI?
No.
A socially transmitted infection?
Were
you on Tumblr?
Look, I only went on Tumblr once.
Oh my god, you got an STI from Tumblr. Oh, Sparky, he needs to be disinfected. Somebody hit him with the virus scan. Oh, it's gross. Oh, we're all gonna get sick now. Sparky's a Tumblrina. Antoine's a Tumblrina. There's so many Tumblrinas here.
How the fuck did I get put into this?
Because you didn't block Tumblr on the base web. I have a point.
Look, they have some really good points on there.
You know what? I really wish we had a story about Tumblr because this would have been a great segue into that. Instead, it's just a joke that makes you look bad.
No,
all right, let's
we
go.
can segue into a story that has something to do with craziness that can happen on Tumblr.
Well, let's go for it then. What do we got? You fucking Tumblrina, you.
I am not Tumblrina. We have,
says the Tumblrina.
We have him too. Twitter mocks mother's viral's post on son's false accusation dating fears. And I mean, there's a military aspect of it because he's in the Navy. Or was. I haven't read the whole thing. So, according to this, A mother has been ridiculed for posting a tweet in which she claimed her son did not go on solo dates over fears of false sexual accusations. The since-deleted tweet by Maria Reynolds read, "This is my son. He graduated #1 in boot camp. He is a gentleman who respects women. He won't go on solo dates due to the current climate of false sexual accusations by radical feminists with an axe to grind." The post, which was accompanied by a picture of her son in the Navy uniform, quickly went viral. Of course it did, because it's calling feminists evil harpies.
I'm down right now, man.
Her son, Peter Hansen, spelled Pieter, was reportedly sitting a marketing exam at the University of Central Florida when the post went viral, and only realized when his friends told him his mother had accidentally turned him into a Twitter meme. The tweet has widely been shared, immediately casting him as the poster boy for the hashtag #HimToo movement. The movement has recently been seen by some of the antithesis of the Me Too movement, suggesting that in the wake of the Brett Kavanaugh scandal, men are frequently victims of false sexual assault accusations, and that many accusers are liars. Look at that handsome boy right there. Twitter users were quick to make fun of the tweet, which some, such as Luna is America, using animals. "This is my son. Oh, it's Punxsutawney Phil. He is a gentleman who treats ladies with respect. He's afraid to date right now because of the current climate. Seriously, because in the actual climate, his future kids won't be able to survive. I vote him too."
I do want to point out real quick, I think it's important to note that as far as I know, the statistics supporting false accusations of rape are still very low. And I do want to point out that I think when you start looking at people like Kavanaugh and you take into account where false rape accusations tend to happen, it's when somebody believes they can gain something from someone in a position of power. So just to make the example complete here, Kavanaugh was about to get put in for, Supreme Court justice or whatever. He was very clearly not a Democrat. The Democrats suddenly attacked him using something like a false rape allegation because, again, doing so could gain power. I don't think you're going to see random, chick on the street accusing random guy on the street, because I don't think she's not going to get anything out of that.
Well, you have to look at Brian Banks. Brian Banks is another example. He had consensual sex with, he was a black student who was an up-and-comer in football. And this happened when he was in high school. He had sex with a woman. She then accused him of rape. He got sent away for 17 years, lost his scholarships, lost his, there were, what are they called? Scouts in the stands that were talking to him. Lost everything, went to jail for the full time.
Yes, but why did she say it was a rape?
Because she didn't want her boyfriend to find out she cheated on him.
Exactly. So there was something to gain. That's what I'm saying, is that it may not necessarily be, I may have worded that improperly. It's not necessarily going to be a massive power gain, but it's only going to happen if there's some sort of outcome that the person wants. You're not going to see it happen just randomly. So what I'm trying to say there is, if you're a guy and you're worried about this sort of thing, which I think if you're male, you probably should be. If you're worried about this sort of thing, then you just need to make sure to put yourself in a position where no one has anything to gain from doing something like that to you. Which all it requires is you just to pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to what your data is saying.
That's very true. So cats were popular too, with @Scalisi among those using their pets and referencing a big moment in any male feline's life. "This is my son," processing his reaction, being told what his next trip to the vet will entail. He will no longer go on dates because, well, him too. Oh, that poor kitty's about to get his nuts chopped off. Zach Bornstein used a different son who is a star who respects planets. Famous TV and movie characters were also tweeted with @LivingMarble, making the most of Anthony Perkins' character in Psycho, a son who knows a boy's best friend is his mother and goes a little mad sometimes. And Molly Jong Fast made the most tweets posted by Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly. I'm not even going to try and say that last name. In one, she describes Mr. Trump as a large adult holding an enormous gun who once DM'd Julian Assange, #HimToo. Mr. Hansen has made it clear he did not approve of his mother's message, posting on Twitter, "That was my mom. Sometimes the people we love do things that hurt us without realizing it. Let's turn this around. I respect and #believe women. I never have and never will support #him too. I'm proud Navy vet, cat dad, and ally. Also, Twitter, your meme game is on point." Mr. Hansen's brother, John, also distanced himself from his mother's post, calling it ridiculous. Can we talk about this #believe women thing real quick?
Sure.
So, I know it was a big thing because, of course, it's a big thing. Everybody wants everyone to believe women. It's a trust and believe, listen and believe bullshit. I do believe, but I also verify and question. So it's listen, believe, verify, question.
It's not listen, believe. It's listen, question, cross-reference, and then come to the truth.
Because that's how false accusations do happen.
Yeah. I actually got a unique story for this one. So back when I was with my ex-girlfriend, I want to say this was back in 2012 before she left to go to Tennessee and was out of my house for the rest. Well, I won't say for the rest of my life, but for a majority of my time. She got into arguments and fights with me for no reason other than just to fucking do it. Well, me and her were living with my mom and dad at the time because of issues that's happened with jobs and bills and all that good shit. Anyways, she wanted to go out with her friends one day, and after having to go retrieve her ass 5 different times from the bar because she got left behind, I said no, and she got pissed, and she spider monkey jumped on me, literally from like 5 foot away. And I was sitting laid back in a recliner when she did it. And my first reaction was I grabbed her midair and set her down. Well, when I grabbed her by the arms to keep her from landing on me. And my dad and my mom are right there watching when this happened. And I set her down. I let go of her. It's like, you need to stop acting so damn irrational, and you need to think. Anyways, me and her talked and all that good shit, and she ended up leaving with her friends. Like, whatever. If you call again, I'm not coming pick you up. She came back that night. She found her way back home. So, okay, fine. About 2 weeks later, I had a knock on my front door from her mom and her dad asking why she had bruises on her arms, if I was beating her and stuff like that. It's like, no. She spider monkey jumped on me. And I grabbed her midair, and apparently that was abusive by grabbing her out of midair to keep her from landing on me. And it's like, what do you want me to do?
Bitches be crazy.
Yep. But yeah, it's you cannot do a listen believe movement for anyone, for children, for women, for men, for anyone. You cannot do listen believe, because how are you gonna credit and be viable if they're lying? Because that's the biggest deal. How do you know that someone's not lying? I just got done watching a video 2 days ago from Leonard French, and I'll link that in the chat. And it's called the Mean Girls lawsuit. And basically what it was, there was a high school student that was targeted by 3 girls in high school. And they practically ruined his life for about a good year or so, until it finally came out that it was all a lie. It was all a big manipulative lie. And now he's suing them for defamation, traumatic distress, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, I don't mean to sound mean against people that actually had shit happen to them. But you need to have some credibility and some proof when you come out with an accusation instead of just having, well, you need to believe me because this happened.
Well, hold up. I would disagree slightly with that. If somebody goes to the police, and let's just put it in my perspective, if somebody rapes me, okay, if somebody pins me down and violates me in a god awful fashion, and I go to the police about it, what I expect the police to do is to investigate. I'm not a trained investigator. I'm not anything remotely close to that. So there's not a lot of proof I can bring them.
Auntie,
Time out.
Auntie, Kadunta's not in the booth. You have no fear of being raped by anyone.
Could you let me fucking finish? Because this is actually mildly important for the love of fuck.
Oh, who let her into the booth?
Yes, I did.
All right, like seriously though, this is slightly important because we're getting on dangerous ground here. The point I'm making is that I should not and do not expect to just be believed and have the person I'm accusing automatically prosecuted. You're correct. But I don't have the ability to bring forth a load of proof. That's on the police to actually go and do their proper due diligence and find it or not find it if it's not there, if I'm a lying piece of shit.
Here's the problem with that. That YouTube video, that Leonard French that I linked in there, nobody did any investigations. The police just took them at their word.
And that's a problem.
At their word.
But you just stated now that it is the burden of responsibility for proof is now on the person doing the accusing, not on the police who are supposed to investigate it.
It's the burden of proof of the person accusing someone to bring forth the proof. Because you're accusing someone of a crime that they committed.
You're accusing someone of an actual crime, though, which means it's the police's job to go and find the proof or non-proof, not the person who got raped or didn't get raped, as it were.
Yeah, but you still have to have some proof.
You're right, but generally speaking, for the police to form up an investigation, it's enough for someone to say they were raped. And that's why I put it in perspective of me being raped, not a woman, because I want to make this very clear that I'm coming from my own thought process here.
I think what, in Sparky, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think what he's trying to say is if you, Antihero, decided to go to the police and said I was raped, they would want a story as evidence first before they investigate it, not necessarily.
But we've already discussed it. First off, stories don't go anywhere with the cops. And again, anecdotal evidence. And then again, on top of that, witness accounts don't really go anywhere in the cops anymore anyway.
But that's not what he's talking about. That's not what he's talking about.
He just said proof.
Antihero. What I said was, I think what he's trying to say is, when you do go to the cops to get the accusation going, you can't just go in and say, I was raped, and point your finger at someone. You actually have to tell them what happened. That is the evidence that they bring forth, and then the cops go investigate.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think there's ever been a case where somebody didn't have a story they've created.
But that's still. But that's the thing right now, that it's no longer go to the cops and they will investigate. Now it's go directly to social media, accuse, and everyone else says that justice needs to be done.
Yeah. When you go through a criminal law, and when you go through in a situation as is this one, like what I've watched a couple of rape cases with police, and I've watched a lot of domestic abuse cases with the police being with the fire department. It works exactly like that. You make a claim, you have to be able to substantiate that claim by giving that evidence that you have to the police. If you don't have that evidence, then yes, it is up to the police to investigate, to corroborate the story in the claim. But you have to give whatever evidence or proof that you have. So if it means that they have to do a rape kit on you, if it's a woman, they do a rape kit on you.
No, they do a rape kit on you regardless of what you are.
Well, I know, but still, when they do a rape kit on you, then they got to tie that back to the other person and come forth and see, okay, does the DNA match up? If it doesn't match up, there's a big hole in the story right there then.
Yes, but that's the police doing their job.
Yeah. But you also...
That's what I'm saying, is that it's incumbent on the police to do the job, because now it's been reported as an actual crime. It's no longer just a story. Now the police are investigating, and they'll determine whether they should be determining whether or not.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, For the police to do their job properly, if someone comes up and says so and so raped me, they have to investigate it.
Yep.
Because if it's a false reporting, then I think in some places that's actually becoming a very serious crime now.
It is. And like I said, the story I shared, even again just now, nobody did any investigation. Nobody looked at phones. Nobody looked at records. Nobody corroborated stories. They just took the person at face value.
Then I would blame the police, not so much the... I mean, I would definitely blame the woman involved, but I would blame the police just as much.
All right, so before we get any further into this, they're asking for links for context, so I'm going to post the link again, Sparky.
Yeah, I posted the links. I mean, what it is, it's mean girl sued over false allegations.
Well, all right, Caduntress entered the booth for a reason. So let's give the lovely Caduntress a reason to talk.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing okay.
Yeah, you guys talking about rape and shit here?
Well, yes, apparently.
All right. Well, fuck, I was losing my thought because I got distracted by fair people. All right, so the issue that we're facing now is what you're talking about is current proof of recent rapes. You know, it just happened, and now the police have to go and investigate. They have to do a rape kit test, and they have to go and investigate and get whatever stories and all of that jazz. But the problem is that's not what's happening in a lot of instances nowadays.
Yep, I know.
A lot of instances nowadays, like with the Kavanaugh case, it's people coming out after the fact, years later, like when it came down to Bill Cosby, you know, and all of those allegations. And that was one of the big parts of the Me Too movement was Bill Cosby's was the accusation against Bill Cosby.
Yeah. And I hear is right. It is kind of a dangerous slope to go on when you start talking about this because, I mean, you don't want to discredit the people that actually have had, you know, this shit happen to them. Because, yes, by all means, if it's happened, you need to report it. But you also got to remember, too, if you come forth and you state something like that, the burden of proof, I mean, I'm sorry, the burden of proof is on the accuser, not the accusee.
I can't disagree with that, but I'm going to point this out really fast. I'm going to give you guys a little story. Actually, I wanted in on this mostly because I'd gotten enraged a couple of nights ago during Doc's Insomniac stream, Doc Griffin's Insomniac stream. Because for some reason that came up as a subject, and I went on a rant because one of the things that's why I was asking Ron, mostly because the way that Anti had worded it was women will then lay their claims due to some need for, because they were gained something from it. I wanted to point out regret was also a thing. Some women will do it purely out of regret. And I know this because I've actually had a friend try and come to me and start to try and sow the seeds of, hey, I think I was sexually assaulted because I was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you just regretted it. Stop being a stupid hoe. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, you're trying to say that you were taken advantage of, and you're trying to say that because you were crossfaded. Bullshit, he was crossfaded too. It was consensual. I was there, and I was trying to get you to come back, like to leave, because we were all partying together or whatever. I was trying to get you to I was like, you want to go and lay down, and she told me, no, I'm fine. Like, he's gonna take care of me. And the guy's like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, he was being very sweet, very nice. And then she wants to try and claim that he took advantage of her. Like, no, go fuck yourself. You're fucking lying. Like, don't. Just because a guy you have a crush on found out that you slept with one of his friends. Like, who fucking cares? You know? Anyway. So that was one of the main points where I was like, let me in here. Like, get me the fucking into the broadcast booth. But when it comes to this stuff, quick story. So I was raped.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's fine. It's something that it happened. It's not something that I'm not a victim of rape. I don't live cowering in fear of any and all men. It's just, I mind you, I do have some trust issues, but it's not a major. It's.
I've never noticed these trust issues. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love you too. But anyway, so that happened to me. I never reported it. I never reported it. Like, it wasn't something that, like, I really, and I made excuses for him. Like, he was on drugs, you know, like, it's whatever. He's clean now, so he's better. If at any point in time I go and I find out, like, this fuckhead is going to go and get married and have kids and all this jazz, I would debate on going and telling his fiance. Now, if I found out that some other girl went and made some huge claim, went to the courts and all of this jazz against him, I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would come forward and be like, well, yeah, you did that, you know, like, hashtag me too. You know? Like, yeah, I remember. The only difference was, well, maybe, I don't know. But I don't know if I would go and be like, oh yeah, no, he raped me in the ass violently, repeatedly, multiple times. Why didn't you report it? Because he was my boyfriend and I didn't think, like, it counted. I didn't think it counted. I didn't think that me screaming no, stop, and no, and crying into a pillow counted.
For future reference, that counts.
Yeah.
Yes, that definitely counts, darling.
Yeah, well, I know that now, but I didn't think of it at the time, and even after, when I'm like, yeah, and I even told him, by the way, did you know you raped me? And he's like, what? No, you always wanted to. I'm like, not those times. And he's like, I don't remember those times. I'm like, yeah, because you're twacked out of your fucking gourds. But it's, you know, like, and I told him that so that he would be aware, because I'm very much about just be aware. Like, if you show that you have zero regret for having decided to one night while twacked out of your ass and you couldn't get off watching porn in the garage or peeping through people's windows, then you decide to come in and just fuck your sleeping girlfriend in her ass, and she starts crying and screaming, stop and no, and you don't, and you repeat that. Don't do that, please.
That's a no for me.
Yeah, no, that's like, no means no. Oh my god. So, sorry, I'm a little shaky right now.
Well, you are rehashing something horrible that happened to you, and
yeah, but guys, I could have told you any number of things, but I want you to keep up the verify. And unfortunately with this, there's no verification. With what had happened to me, there's no verification because I didn't report it. I didn't go and get tested by the police. I didn't go get a rape kit test. You know, and I appreciate your trust in me.
Yeah.
But I'm also reminding you that right now, like if this fuckhead, you know, got called out and was like, we're, you know, like these girls reported you, blah 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 blah. There's no way for me to be able to go and tell my story without it purely being a listen and believe.
Yeah, and that's
why I don't
damn.
know. Hence why I don't know. You know, like I don't know what I would do if that ever happened. If
in this field through Fire EMS, and we hold sessions in classrooms, we hold public rallies over it, we talk to people about it, we make sure to put out pamphlets and brochures and tell people exactly if this happens, do not wait. The longer you wait, the harder it is to prove, and most likely it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cases that do happen that women do tell the truth on, but get dismissed because, again, further improve. And it sucks. It really does suck. So if it happens, immediately report. I don't care if he's a friend. I don't care if it's a lifelong friend. I don't care if it's somebody you have a crush on. I don't care if it's somebody you know and you trusted. If it happens and you feel like that you were raped, you did somebody did something against your will, report it, right?
Sparky, the problem is that rape is a very humiliating thing. So the person is ashamed. The person doesn't want to deal with anyone. The person doesn't want anything to deal with people. So coming out and actually doing it is coming out, and don't take this the wrong way, but coming out and saying that you were raped and admitting it and things like that to the police after it's happened is a very brave thing to do because of how the person feels. Now, the ones that don't do it, they aren't necessarily brave people. Like, Dunn came out and said everything that happened to her. That was something that no one expected her to do, and it was very brave of her to do it. That's why rape is underreported, because it's a humiliating act. And unfortunately,
the violation, like the rape test kit alone. Now, me, I didn't report it because I didn't consider it at the time. I was in the mindset at the time as one of those who was like, well, if I'm with him, it doesn't count. You know, like if I'm dating the person, it doesn't count. And you know, like if I'm glad we had never gotten married, because if he had been my husband, it still would have been in that same mindset for me, and even stronger so that, well, it doesn't really count. Like, just because I don't want to, you know, I should be, and it makes one feel very weak, because it's just like I was weak, and I still believe that, like I was really fucking weak. Like, how the fuck did I let that happen to me? Why didn't I fight back harder? You know, why didn't I report it? Like, why didn't I know any better? Like, it was, there's a whole mental fuckery that goes into it, where you don't know what to do and you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and pet peeve just sounds so very silly in comparison to what I'm about to say, but I'll use the term anyway. One of my biggest pet peeves in a relationship is that too often I come across women who are more than willing to do something because they think I want to do it, and not because they themselves are interested in it. And that bothers the shit out of me, because while they are consenting to it, to me that feels like it's, you know, it's very close to that dark edge. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they know I like it, so they're okay with it. I know it's not exactly the same, but I personally cannot stand that. And I know I've had multiple conversations, multiple girlfriends at this point saying, please, if you're not interested in doing something, don't let me do it. just because I'm gonna feel like a shit when I find out later that you didn't want that, and I know for a fact I'll find out because I always end up finding out. So just tell me what you want and don't want, and we won't do the things that you don't want. Whether I want them or not doesn't matter.
Yes, but love. All right, I'm gonna let you know something. That is in and of itself a sign of I want to please you. Like it's just one of those like almost natural instincts. It's I just want to please you and I want to do what you want to do. Like I
You're
don't
right, that's
like
all
I don't like football and blah blah blah, but I guess I'll watch it with you because you like it.
I'd be much more happy if we did things together that we both enjoyed rather than you do something with me that I don't enjoy and then me feel like I just raped you afterwards.
No, I know. Well, I'm not gonna say anything like that because pretty much like anything that you do with me, that if I've given prior consent, even though like I may be uncomfortable with it, with the idea of it, it's not something that's on my. It's like dealing with a sub, who hasn't quite tried everything and so doesn't yet know if they're willing to try it. Or has tried it before and didn't like it when they tried it before, and so isn't sure if it'd be something because you claim to have new experience, better experience, or better technique or whatever. Like we've discussed, don't fuck me in the ass, and you're like, well, I won't. I'm just saying I'm pretty good at it, and I'm just like, why? Well, if you want to, I'm willing to try it. And same with
as I said point blank, if you're not interested, it won't come up.
Yes, if I'm not interested, it won't. I know, but I'm letting you know it's something that I'd be willing to try with you because there's that love and there's that trust with you, you know, that has not been violated by, say, you know, an action of unwillingness, and I have trust that if I say stop, you will stop.
Yeah, groundbreeding brings up a good point. That's why safe words were invented.
I think Tom Leach brings up a good point too, though. He says, I fucking hate that. Primarily women who will bargain for sex. Hey, do this non-sexual thing I want. Oh, that sexual thing you like, do it because you want to or don't. That's kind of a separate point, but it's also a very good point. I have had very little experience with women like that, thank God. Because in my personal opinion, and I've explained this to a few different women now at this point, sex should never be a weapon.
No.
At no point. Now, I want to clarify that. If Kadon wants me to do something and she's like, I think we should go out to this restaurant tonight and I'm going to wear that little black dress you like so much, that's okay. I'm totally all right with that. I'm probably going to go to that restaurant with her, even if I hate sushi, which I do.
Oh no, honey, now I'm going to have to offer you face fucking for sushi.
But it's like if you what is it? Name something that's awful. If we get some sort of stupid tiny little chihuahua dog, I'll let you fuck me in the ass. I hate that shit. That sex is a weapon. That's if you don't do this, I won't sleep with you. If this doesn't happen, you won't get this that you like so much. That should never be a thing ever. And Ali is totally right. The two best ships are in here, Spark Twan and Cadenta Hero.
I agree with this.
Kadun's written fan fictions about these ships. You guys know that, right? There is a Spark Twan fan fiction out there somewhere.
You know, can we get on to something that is not depressing?
That's not Spark Twan erotica.
That is very depressing.
So I have an article.
It's a lot of shock play.
I have an article that is just going to make people forget about everything and just kind of vomit.
Groovy.
God damn it,
what
Sparky.
The fuck was that? God damn! Can you?
Hey, there's an Opal in the chat.
Opal.
Oh,
hi, Opal.
It's been a while since you've been by. Hello.
How's it going, Opal? So she's here just in time.
She's gonna make fun of me. She always makes fun of me.
Vagina beer made from a model's vaginal yeast set to hit the shelves.
No, just say it the way you were saying. Vaginal yeast. That's better.
Vaginal yeast.
Opal is sick, everybody. Everyone give love to Opal.
Oh, I'm sorry you're sick.
Press F in the chat for Apple.
I hope you feel better, Opal.
So yes, vagina beer. This is going to be the worst idea since anything.
Since tampon tea.
Oh God! All right. So no, it's not an April Fool's. Polish brewery Order of the Yoni is currently raising money to make the world's first craft beer containing vaginal lactic acid, freshly swabbed from a model, no less. The beer, Bottled Instinct contains femininity and woman's instincts, whatever they are, and is brewed with yeast, or quote-unquote yoni, from a special selected woman, whatever. The lucky lady giving up her ingredient for the beer is Czech model Alexandra Brendlova, as she apparently has all the desired instincts we wanted to frame in our arc of instincts. That's a bottle to you and me. After a lengthy search of people who are actually trying to get this done, Alexandra was chosen as the kind of female whose pheromones will stay with you for the following week. Oh God! Order of Yoni are currently raising money on Indiegogo, because of course they are, to start producing the sour-tasting beer, and are offering generous donors the chance to have a beer specifically made from their girlfriend's vaginal swab. So romantic. As for the what?
Kadan?
Yes.
No.
I'm not gonna give you vagina yeast beer, okay? I would never do that. First and foremost, I wouldn't know how to make that gluten-free.
That's a really good thing. I am really happy you don't know how to make gluten-free beer, because I'm now worried about everything you make for me.
I would never do that to you. The only time you have to deal with anything from my vagina is when you're licking it clean.
I was gonna say, Opal has a good point. It sounds like eating.
Hold on, stop. After the fact, my tongue is not. That's not a thing. We might have to talk about that later. After I'm done, that's not happening.
No, I'm not saying lick your own jizz from out of me.
Because I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that, because that would just be weird. And how am I supposed to kiss you after that?
Because I'm not Brachus.
The only time you're ever going to taste your own jizz is when it's from my lips after you've spooged in my mouth. And I've swallowed like a good girl.
Thank you. Good Lord. This is getting a little awkward here.
I'm not going to snow blow you either, okay? Unless I'm mad at you.
Okay. All right. I am done with that topic for the rest of my eternity. And I'm going to be around for a long ass time.
Placenta smoothies.
Oh God.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not done. The article's not over. It's almost. As for the technology, Order of Yoni vaguely claims to isolate, examine, and prepare lactic acid bacteria from a vagina. Let's hope they check it for anything gross before plopping it into a beer barrel.
Welcome to HIV beer.
Oh God.
One sip of this and you've got the AIDS.
Yes. We have many different selections, from the clap to AIDS to HIV to gonorrhea AIDS.
Wait, I have a question though. Wait. I have a question. So, do they wait until she has a yeast infection?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
No, these are important questions. No, I mean, I don't need to know, and I am not planning on making this kind of beer. What?
They're hoping to raise 150,000. I think it's lira.
Does anyone else feel sick?
A little bit.
Like just ill on the inside.
Okay, so you know how we have a thing around the hideout where you don't accept anything from Zach, don't drink anything from Zach. There's a new rule in the hideout for those of you who are there. Don't accept any beer from Caduntris. It's not good for you.
Or it's very good for you.
Good fan, don't have to drink or eat.
Everyone stay the fuck away from any beverage or food she offers you.
Hey, no. Just try my bread. Fresh
She's-
made.
Oh, God.
Is it sourdough?
She baked it in her own personal easy bake oven too.
Yes. My vagina is hot as an oven, I'm just saying.
Onvir says that they should have a flavor called syphilis surprise.
It's actually the syphilis stout. It's a strong and robust beer that makes you feel like you got holes in your brain.
I'm disturbed.
I want to go back to something that Zio Go said.
The clap is an IPA, by the way. No, it's an IPA.
All right, what did Zio Go say?
It said, "Hi, Antoine. Sparky Pinot is getting crazier. I don't know what he means by that."
I asked and I got no response. So
Grim says STD wiser. So we need to keep that away from Stone Cold. Yeah, we need to keep that away from Stone Cold. I don't think he needs any more in his old age.
But anyways, no. As far as Pinot goes, he has his right to his own opinion. Let him have it.
Man,
I mean,
labia lager.
Sparky just has like nothing but dick down his throat right now.
The cleanest beer you'll ever have is a labia lager. Let's move on to the next article.
Time out.
No time out. We don't need to talk about this kind of shit. Let's go on to the news, bitches.
Well, I just want to know what Anti-Hero was going to say.
I said what I was going to say, which is you are just slurping down that everyone can have an opinion dick right now, aren't you?
Everyone can.
We know, but you're like making it a statement of fact. Like, for those of you who don't know, he's allowed to have we know he's allowed to have his opinion. And since he puts his opinion publicly, we can also make fun of that opinion. They'll make fun of my opinions all the damn time.
Exactly.
Well, that is your opinion.
That they're making fun of my opinions?
And you are allowed your opinion.
But you do make fun of my opinions, dear.
I do.
I know. Frequently.
So Ray Martinez said they should have a chlamydia stout.
Clam stout.
Clam stout, yeah.
Zio Go. Gyno Star is less nasty than this.
God, Gyno Star is never less nasty than anything. All right, so
what is the next story on the list?
Well, we have a couple. I want to save one for last because it's the one that's the funniest, and I don't want to go back to sexual assault just yet. So we have... Yes, you heard me right. Funny and sexual assault. We have a man arrested for doxing, and Hitler's final bunker found.
So they found a doghouse that says Hitler on it.
Well, so we want to read about Hitler?
I don't care.
I want to feel Hitler's masculine hands on my backside.
Hitler was a painter, so he had very feminine hands. I think you would be upset.
That'll work too.
All right, if you want feminine hands. All right, let's go with Hitler then. It's the first time I've ever said that statement.
But it's not the first time he's ever said it. He'll say it again too.
I said it's the first time I've ever said it. So if I have to say it again, I can't state that.
Oh, he'll say it again.
This guy found Hitler's secret French bunker. Adolf Hitler committed some of the most horrifying atrocities in human history. Technically, that's not true. He just supported the human atrocities. It was his Nazi scientists that did that. And the rest of the generals and all those fuckheads. But when this photographer stumbled upon his secret French bunker, he was brave enough to go inside anyway. Is that it? All right, that's small. Urban explorer and photographer Mark Ascot braved the hunting season to walk through the thick wooded countryside in northern France. Antihero.
Mm.
Do you think he's in any danger being in the French countryside from French hunters?
I don't think anyone's in any sort of danger at all when you're in France, except maybe if shitty cheese.
Well, I'm just saying you have a slew of French jokes, so I was trying to
I don't like the French at all. Like I don't make any jokes about France. All right, look at France; it's a joke. I don't need to make any further French jokes. I almost bought a French rifle once.
Oh,
I'm not. I did. I almost bought one. It was a French military rifle from World War II. It was on eBay. The little description said it was never fired, only dropped once.
How many pieces?
Just one. It was one piece. No, it was very well taken care of. He had to use it for like a walking stick and stuff. It was in good condition. At one point, he surrendered too fast and had to use it as a splint for his arm. Pulled a muscle,
He was searching for a new subject for photographs and stumbled upon what is believed to be one of Adolf Hitler's last bunkers, a place where the Nazi leader...
And you have to go a lot farther than France to find worthwhile photographs.
Ooh. A place where the Nazi leader plotted the invasion of Britain. The eerie underground stronghold is filled with stories from one of the most devastating wars in human history, but despite finding and photographing the bunker, a scout won't reveal its exact location. Turns out he has very good reason for keeping Hitler's underground bunker location secret from the public. Okay, so next. Oh, this is done in pages? This is bullshit. They just want clicks.
You just now realize that?
I vote no on clickbait. Next.
Your God has abandoned you.
Do you guys want me to keep reading about this?
No.
I actually think I read that article. In fact, I think I might have been the one that even posted it to you.
Yeah.
It is pretty interesting. They did find it's an old school bunker. It was designed, with the possibility in mind of hiding somebody like Hitler. I mean, it's always interesting to find things like that. And finding one of those in the French countryside only reinforces my thought process about the French. So, I mean, there's a reason there are so many covered walkways in France, guys.
I've never been to France.
It's because French officers it's like German officers like to walk in the shade. That's why, because German officers like to walk in the shade. Anyway, I do have a fun fact for you, though.
All right.
How many French soldiers would it have taken in World War II to defend Paris?
How
They're
many?
French soldiers?
We have no idea. No one's ever tried it. I think it was Patton who said rather have a German regiment in front of me than a French regiment behind me.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Patton who said that, but I can concur.
Yeah. It's a sad life they lead.
All right. Well, then we will go with the next article, and then we'll go to the last one. But, Antihero, you get to read these.
What am I reading now?
Yeah.
You are reading about the man arrested for doxing GOP senators was an intern in Representative Sheila Jackson Lee's office.
Oh, I suppose I could read that. All right. Am I reading in any particular voice or just the way I am right now? Fuck it, I'll do it however I want it. We're doing this live anyway.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
A man was arrested for doxing GOP senators was an intern in Representative Sheila Jackson Lee's office.
Republican.
Whatever. U.S. Capitol Police arrested see, this is what happens when you talk over me, Ketan. This is the humanarchy at work. U.S. Capitol Police issued a press release Wednesday evening announcing that they made an arrest in the doxing Republican senators while they were hearing testimony from Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Early reports that the person posting the senator's personal information on Wikipedia was using a computer in the House of Representatives. The information happened to be right. Then shows the tweet, which we're just going to go past as soon as Antoine figures out how to use the scroll button. Capitol Police report that Jackson A. Costco, 27 of Washington, D.C., has been charged with making public restricted personal information, witness tampering, threats to interstate communications, unauthorized access of a government computer, identity theft, second-degree burglary, and unlawful entry, followed by another tweet.
Many, Jesus Christ.
Fuck those tweets. Fuck them all.
This is expanding the article for false pretense.
Yep. That's good God, so many tweets.
And then one sentence at the end to end it. Jesus Christ.
Police say the investigation will continue. Additional charges may be forthcoming. Who the fuck came up with the story? Who was it? Was it you, Antoine?
No, Sparky is the one that brought this bullshit.
Sparky, god damn it, do your due diligence next time and make sure the whole story's there. You son of a bitch.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be longer.
Filthy whoremongering.
That's what she said.
Whoremongering robo-whoremongerer.
Well,
Hey,
I
there's no need to be robophobic.
I guess
Look.
that's a reason to get to our last article.
Good, because I need to get going soon, and I want to stay with you guys as long as possible.
Is this the one that I wanted to read?
Yes, this is the one that you wanted to read.
All right, I won't use a voice for this one because I think this is both hilarious and it's awful. This is the New York Times article, right?
Yes.
All right. This happened actually really recently. This is about 2 days ago. Some of you may have heard of this. It's been blasted on Twitter a lot. We're going to jump right into it.
Wait.
What?
Ali has a suggestion for you, Anton.
Oh my God. As Alex Allison? No, everyone fucking hates Alex Allison. We're not doing
one person hated Alex Allison.
Besides, Alex Allison only comes out for interviews. He's a very eclectic sort of person. If there's another interview, Alex Allison will show up. Beyond that, no, he does not read basic news articles. Alex Allison is a star, all right? He doesn't do this kind of shit.
All right, I'm just going to say that if Alex Allison comes out while you're deeply interviewing me, I don't know whether I'll be opposed.
I don't think you'd be opposed to almost any of the voices I do, with a few notable exceptions.
No, I
anyway.
You know what? Hey, I got the best background sound for that whole deal.
God damn, Sparky, turn it down. Jesus.
Sparky,
take away his soundboard.
Sometimes I really like you, Sparky. Other times I'm reminded what a piece of shit you are.
Wait, do I get to go and play with the shinies now?
Sure.
All
right.
If you want, there's a door on that soundboard. You need to kick it in.
All right. So if we can get on with the story here.
No.
Yeah.
So a white woman, Teresa Klein, called the police on a black child she falsely said groped her. Now, before we get into this, I want to point out the white woman and the black child is nothing more than drawing your attention. All right. They tried to make this article tries to make it very racial. But once you start reading the article, or at least listening to it, you'll see that this isn't racism. This is hashtag me too, and it's fucking worst. A white woman who called the police after claiming that a young black boy touched her behind in a Brooklyn deli drew a storm of ridicule and criticism on social media. And late on Friday, she made a public apology to the child. Critics characterized the incident as the latest example of hypersensitive white person calling the police to report black people for dubious reasons. As a critic, I would say this is not that, but I would characterize an incident of the latest example of hypersensitive women calling the police to report men for dubious reasons. Sorry, Keon. Many detractors imputed racist motives to the woman, Teresa Klein. She was quickly labeled Cornerstone Caroline by Jason Littlejohn, 37, a lifelong Flatbush resident who recorded the commotion on Wednesday outside the Sahara Deli Market on Albemarle Road. Mr. Littlejohn's Facebook recording of the incident had been viewed 4 million times by Friday evening.
And I wish I could play it, but because we are using Hangouts and not OBS, we cannot.
Oh no, don't worry. This quote makes it good. Miss Klein is heard saying on the video, "I was just sexually assaulted by a child." She was on the phone with police. I'll let that sink in for a moment.
I was just sexually assaulted by a child.
It gets better. The boy, who is about 9, another child in the video, burst into tears out of the store as bystanders confronted Mrs. Klein about the incident. So this woman gets on the phone and loudly declares that she was just sexually assaulted by a child. Then the boy and another child burst into tears as people begin to rant and rave about it. I want to point out, because earlier I had said before we started, this isn't racial and they're trying to make it racial. And here's one of the big reasons I say it's not racial, because when she reports it to the cops, overheard on the phone, she doesn't say I was sexually assaulted by a black child or by a Negro or whatever. She says I was just sexually assaulted by a child. She doesn't give a shit about at least it seems here anyway, that she doesn't give a shit about the race. She gives a shit that she was sexually assaulted.
Yeah. Okay, before we continue, we have $10 from Ben Cooper. Can we please log in to how bad the Democrats are going to freak out when Trump gets appointed and gets to appoint another person to take over Ginsburg's seat?
I would agree with Ben on that, except for the fact that Ginsburg will never die. She's actually a T-1000 series. There's no. She's not gonna die. She's not gonna step down. If that woman dies, it'll be right after she hits that final gavel on someone. She's dying in the seat, and her ass will just like weld itself to the chair, and they won't be able to get her out of there. She's going to live forever as a lich. Now, moving on.
God damn.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg scares the shit out of me. All right, that is a terrifying fucking woman. She's clearly a team. Look at her. Just fucking look at her. Pull up a picture of her, Antoine. Pull a picture of her right now.
Well. Quick note. All of us here, considering we're in a live stream and the government is listening to everything, we are okay with whatever the choices the government makes. And I
am totally accepting of all T-1000 series on the Supreme Court.
yes, we are totally accepting. We are not roboticists, What would be
and Hillary Clinton is a wonderful person.
Yes, and Hillary Clinton is a wonderful person, and we are not, nor have ever been, nor will be suicidal.
That shit is just for you, anti-hero.
Fuck her.
Yeah, put it on, present it so people can see it. There we go. Like I said, it's clearly a T-1000 series. Oh my word! No, go over 2 pictures. Go over 2 pictures. Go to the right 2 pictures.
Oh, this one?
You can do it. You can do it, Antoine. Just hit the button twice. Good God, Antoine.
I'm
waiting for it to show. Okay. Antoine, 2 pictures to the right. No. Yes, there we go. T-1000. Look at it. No fear. Your overlords have arrived.
The T-1000
broke or something.
So are we done with the last article?
No, we're going to go into it because I just need to have a brief moment. So back to it. The son grabbed my ass and she decided to yell at me, Miss Klein continued the video, referring to his mother. The video is first reported by the New York Post. The public shaming of people who behave boorishly or spout racist views has become a feature of modern life in New York City, where nearly every person has a cell phone, and residents are not shy about confronting one another, often in colorful language. Last year, a lawyer threatened to call the immigration authorities on Spanish-speaking employees at a lunch counter, made a public apology, after a video of his rant was posted online and complaints were made to state court officials. Miss Klein, 53, returned to the store on Friday afternoon to buy cigarettes and face her neighbors, who heckled her as she gave her version of events to journalists. Then, prompted by a reporter, Miss Klein went inside the store and watched a playback of the bodega's security camera footage from Wednesday evening. Onlookers crammed inside the bodega's doorway to watch the screening, their phone cameras pointed toward Miss Klein. Playing on a ceiling-mounted flat-screen television, the video showed the child turning to someone behind him and his backpack brushing Miss Klein's backside as she leaned over the counter. I'll let that sink in for a brief moment here. So everyone, take that in.
The backpack is made of hands.
The backpack is made of human skin. Thus, it was still the child's hand groping her backside.
Oh no, it gets better. Speaking into a television reporter's camera afterward, Miss Klein made an apology. Young man, she said, I don't know your name, but I'm sorry.
And this is Miss Klein. She looks like she needs to be groped very badly.
And I will let Antoine handle that. He's the man to take that grenade for the team.
Nope, that grenade is just going to have to go off and kill everyone around it. That's not happening.
Still, Miss Klein denied she acted out of bigotry toward the boy or that she harbored racist feelings, and I believe her. She said she was willing to meet with the mother to talk out their differences, but complained the mother had reacted aggressively when she said the boy had touched her. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You just accused her son of sexually assaulting you in our today's cultural environment.
Numbskull says maybe something mentioned she doesn't know what groping feels like.
Yeah, obviously she doesn't. And the kid is 9 years old. All right, like he's 9. I've had a fucking well, I guess 9 would be old enough to know what groping could be like.
Look,
Because
when I
I've
was
had like
9
5-year-olds or whatever come over and like literally lift my skirt, and shit like that because they
When I
thought it was something
was-
funny and fun.
When I was 9, the only thing I knew about groping was that you didn't grab someone on their crotch or touch their tits. That's it.
Wait, he just
Ali
wanted to
brings-
play.
Ali-
I didn't know why. I just knew you weren't supposed to do it.
Hey, he
Ali,
just
Ali
wanted to play.
brings up. Go ahead, Sparky.
He just wanted to play hacky sack with a big beanbag sack.
God damn it, Sparky! Stop killing jokes.
All right, so finishing
say,
up.
Antoine?
I want to bring up that this bitch doesn't have a 4-head; she has a 5-head.
Right. So finishing off this tale, right? A woman charged at me and flashed a badge and said that she would arrest me, she said, and I called 911. For 3 days, Miss Klein has been roundly criticized on Twitter. Many people took issue with the idea that a boy of his age would even understand what it meant to grope someone. There is a tweet followed by a stupid ad banner, and then back to the story. The outrage escalated after the surveillance video from the bodega was posted online, showing that the boy, dressed in a school uniform and carrying a large book bag, did not appear to touch Miss Klein. The little kid thought he was going to jail for something he didn't do, Mr. Littlejohn said in an interview. I thought it was someone calling police for unnecessary reasons, especially on a child. Nahuna Alexandre, 22, who works at a nearby Baptist church, said the apology was welcome but insufficient unless Miss Klein also dropped her complaints with the mother's behavior. So apparently, the woman, Miss Klein, apologized to the boy, but is still complaining about the mother reacting poorly. I don't have kids, at least none that I know about, and but I can say this unequivocally: if you accuse my 9-year-old of sexually assaulting you or anyone else, I'm probably going to react poorly. And by poorly, I mean violently and excessively. So she hurt all of us in this community because when you accuse that one little boy of doing something, you also accuse all of us, Miss Alexandre said.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't either, but I understand what she's saying.
Well, that's because she's saying she's taking it as an old ugly white woman accuses a 9-year-old of groping, 9-year-old black boy of groping her. She's saying all of us as an old black people.
I don't think she's saying that. I think because she doesn't. That's not indicated in the statement she makes. It says because she didn't say that one little black boy. She says that one little boy of doing something. You also accuse all of us, meaning that she views the community as exactly that, a community that raises its kids to be better than a bunch of sexual abusers. So if you're accusing a 9-year-old boy of sexually assaulting you, then you're accusing us all of failing. Anyway,
all right, I can see that.
The incident echoed other recent uproars on social media, and this is why I think the article is pushing the white and the black-white narrative, because only the author of the article has put the black-white stuff into it. The actual quotes coming from the people haven't referenced race at all yet. The incident echoed other recent uproars on social media over white people calling the police make complaint about black people. In Oakland, California, a white woman nicknamed Barbecue Becky called the police about black people who said were barbecuing in a restricted area in a park. I saw that, and the chick was like, she was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Near Cleveland, a white family called the police after black children moving a neighbor's lawn accidentally mowed a portion of the family's lawn, which is also fucking ridiculous. And in Philadelphia, a Starbucks employee called the police after 2 black men asked to use the restroom without purchasing anything. More recently, the police were called on a black man near Atlanta who was babysitting 2 white children.
Really quick about the black men in Starbucks.
They were totally within their rights to do that.
Yeah, they were trespassing. They're trespassing. And it had nothing to do with the fact that they were black. It had to do with the fact that they came in, sat down, used the bathroom, and stayed there without purchasing anything.
And then stated that they would not. And then when the police came to ask them to leave, because I saw the video, the police asked them to leave first politely, and they refused.
So, yeah.
They told the cops no. They weren't arrested for trespassing. They weren't arrested for breaking some of the Starbucks rules. They were arrested because they told the cops no. That's kind of one of those things.
Yes.
You think something like this only happens in the South, but it's all over the world, said Mr. Littlejohn, who tried to comfort the boy. He's going to be traumatized for the rest of his life. It's something that will stick with him.
Okay, see, that quote, that was... he doesn't outright say black, but it's something like this only happens in the South.
You're right. There is definitely some racism implied there. I don't think he's wrong, though. that kid is going to have some issues the rest of his life. I don't think it'll be racist issues unless somebody makes it that way. But he's going to be terrified of, and I'm going to say it in a slightly racist way, he's going to be terrified of old white chicks for a long time.
Especially ones that wear leather jackets and trying to imitate Sarah Connor.
I'll be honest. I think I've been saying this a lot on Twitter lately. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. This is not a time period in which you should be unafraid of life. There is a lot of fear right now, regardless of what your gender is or what your skin color is. America in specific is going down some really weird roads that don't bode well. Something I worry about. I want to have kids someday, and sons run strongly in my family, and I'm worried about that. Quite frankly, it's not even a question of is my son going to run into this kind of, and I'm going to use the term wild feminazi bullshit. It's not a question of is he going to run into it. It's what does he do when he runs into it, and how am I going to teach him? And at this point, like, my only thoughts are I have to teach my kid to be afraid of women.
Ali is calling out the author of this article for saying there's something wrong with the South, because apparently she's in the South, and that by guilt of association means she's a old racist white woman.
Well, I hope the kid does not become MGTOW Ziogo, because that would be just a waste of human. But yeah, so I'm worried about that. Like, what do I need to start teaching? What do I need to be thinking about teaching my son? Do I teach him
how to protect himself, basically?
Well, yeah, which means I have to teach my kid to live in fear, and that's unacceptable to me. In every way, it's unacceptable to me.
But Bob McCoy brings up what happened a week later after that Starbucks incident, where there were protests, and now Starbucks is giving mandatory racial sensitivity training.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't race; it was the fact that they were trespassing. But of course, that's not what the media said. No, the media made it racial.
Well, yes, but that's because it sells things. No, he's right though. They went and they did a massive. They closed for a day. Everyone had to go undergo mandatory sensitivity training. Black guys were walking into Starbucks and getting free coffee just because they were black and they were demanding it. It was a little weird.
Yep, this is a horrible example of the squeaky wheel getting the grease.
I make a lot of noise and no one ever greases me up.
I will.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Well, that is all of our articles, ladies and gentlemen.
BS time.
Well, it's been BS time for most of this stream.
Oh, come on.
So is there anything else that you three would like to talk about? Bring up, bullshit about, whatever?
Well, I have to get going.
Oh. Well, now I'm sad.
Can you guys hear that in the background?
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just a laugh track.
I know. That I've been trying to avoid all of the background noise that's been going on here.
Well, you've been doing a damn good job. I've only heard it every once in a while.
Thank you.
I do have one thing I do want to say before we go.
Yes.
And that's real simple. It's that super tanks will always beat mechs.
God. You know what? This is not a place for it. You take that shit to McKenna Tuesdays on Sparky's channel.
You know what? Maybe I fucking will.
I'm pretty sure KG would be more than glad to talk about it, because I think KG might actually agree with you a little bit.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go to McKenna Tuesdays and I'll be in the chat. I'll just be fucking y'all up in the chat.
All right. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Caffeinated to Die, your morning brew. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I've been joined by my normal co-host, Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner. Go watch him on Tuesdays for McKenna Tuesdays, and then cut over to MSNBC. Also joined by Antihero Broadcast. Go subscribe to go subscribe to Antihero Broadcast. He needs more subscribers so he can actually do something with his
And
channel.
follow him on Twitter.
And follow him on Twitter.
Mother of... No one has my
also,
Twitter handle available.
Also follow Sparky on Twitter. I have the links down below. All you have to do is Sparky is trying to get more followers on Twitter than me. So go ahead, follow him, subscribe to all of their channels. And we are also joined by the lovely, wonderful, and joyous Cadantris, who also has her own channel, but she is normally seen on Lo-Fi's channel.
Hey, Antoine, could you get Cadunt's dick out of your mouth?
It's a lady bonus, so that's not ever happening.
Get her dick out of your mouth.
So yes, I am seen regularly on Lo-Fi's channel, Moonifest Destiny, on Wednesdays for Not Safe for Wednesdays, and then I'm also kind of, I guess I'm technically now Doc Griffin's co-host for the Insomniac streams.
Well, good job, Doc, getting you to do something that you should, getting you to do something that you're really, really good at. So thank you.
It's better than my fucking content, my minuscule content on my channel.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and remember, caffeinate or die.